Welcome to Scott County High School for tonight's Dan Cummins Classic. A boys basketball doubleheader for you. Starting it off will be Great Crossing, bringing in its top five ranking, 8-17-3 record, going up against more traditional of Louisville, coming in at 8-11. They've improved a lot since we saw them in the Billy Hicks Classic back in December, so we expect this will be a good test for GC. Anytime you play a team from Louisville, it tends to be. I'm Cal Oakes along with Keith Greiser. And Keith, well, not only that game tonight, we'll have Scott County later on. Derek Varney will be coming in as they will be taking on Louisville Male. But what about this one? What does Great Crossing have to be wary of? They're kind of in a stretch of their schedule. It's about the only lean patch there is, as they have played one of the toughest in the state. They routed East Jessamine at home last night, and now here's another game that looks like they should win rather handily. What do you have to guard against?
Yeah, I think that the thing I noticed from the stats, Cal, was that this number 3 for Louisville Moore, Deshaun Hall, was averaging 16 points a game, but it only played in one game. And so that was the other night against Fairdale. I was looking it up a little bit in more detail, but he must be a pretty good scorer. And when you throw that onto a team that was only getting beat by 15 or so most of the rest of the games, you throw a 16-point scorer on there, and all of a sudden that's a different team. So I would say that Coach Page is not only saying, hey, this is a very cool event. People are playing all day, including like Royal Spring 8th grade played earlier today and went to overtime. I heard about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Playing back-to-back with Scott County, should be a good crowd for both of those games tonight, and the community should be coming together to support both of these teams. And so, just the opportunity to be in something like that. But then you throw in Louisville Moore. Anytime you're playing a Louisville school, you better be ready because they're going to have some athletes. And then you throw in a 16-point scorer that they've added that they haven't had all year. And you got to think you're probably facing a pretty excited team that thinks they have a chance to really be better than they were prior to the other night.
You add Deshaun Hall, whom you mentioned, to Davon Harrison, who's averaging 16.2 a game, and UV Bimwall, who's averaging 14.3. I don't think they have all their games recorded because their stats only were good for 13 contests out of the 19 that they've played.
Right.
They put on a pretty good showing, honestly, in the Billy Hicks Classic. They only finished 7th, which a little deceiving. They played Douglas right off the bat, a team that got to the final, lost by 15 or so. Lost to Lafayette at the buzzer. I believe that one might even gone to overtime, and then they beat John Hardin in the consolation game, as it were. So this is a team that's played better as of late.
And last night they beat Bullitt Central
65
by 22.
Yeah.
So that's a solid win. Bullitt Central's not a powerhouse by any stretch, but a 22-point win at this time of year is a good thing. So
that snapped a 4-game losing streak, but the 4 losses were to Ballard, Doss, Holy Cross, and Fairdale. So I mean, they stayed within the city limits, the metro limits, as it were, and this is not going to be an easy one. I think Great Crossing came out a little, didn't play their A game on defense last night, at least out of the gate, and East Jessamine kind of traded baskets with them in the first half before they were able to pull away behind a huge night from Malachi Marino at 26 points and a bundle of rebounds as usual, another double-double. Vince Dawson III flirted with a triple-double. And this team has put it together. Their only loss in a good while, was a 2-pointer over at GRC. Depending on which poll you look at, which ranking you look at, they're either 2nd, 3rd, or 4th in the state right now. And all their losses are to teams in that upper echelon as well. So this is a Great Crossing team that is taking aim down the stretch here with about a month to sharpen itself for districts and regions, and we expect a good run from them as they try to get to Rupp for the first time.
I was in Louisville today for the 6th grade state tournament.
How's that going?
And it's going well. But one of the big topics was how much everybody loved the throwback things that they did last night at Great Crossing. The big C's on the warm-ups. And I see
them out here tonight.
Several people have them on tonight. Very cool look. I love that Steve Page put that together and had a tribute to the folks who went to that high school way back when. Good stuff.
Yeah, you always want to remember where you came from, and not the first Great Crossing High School. It's the latest and biggest and brightest, but it's good to honor your roots. Starting lineup for the Great Crossing Warhawks will feature, as usual, a junior and 4 sophomores. The junior is Jeremiah Godfrey, 6'7", and can jump out of the gym. And then you have the 4 sophomores, the big man, 6'11", Malachi Marino, 6'4" on the wing, Gage Richardson. Point guard is Janias Burrell, and of course, Vince Dawson, the third 1,000-point scorer. Davon Harrison introduced as the first starter for Moore. And you have number 3, Deshaun Hall. We mentioned him in the pregame as he's just getting acclimated to the season. Jacob Forney, number 5. Number 21, 24 is Hunter Wheatley. And number 22 is Jerry Bartlett. Moore is coached by Richard Gatewood Jr. The Mustangs come in at 8-11.
Let's see. That's an interesting starting lineup. Not what they've done the past few games, but 23 UV Bimway is in sweatpants. And,
I guess that'll be a big loss for them. As we mentioned, he was
14 points and
one
7
of the
rebounds.
3 double-digit guys. Malachi Marino, he is on pace maybe to get 1,000 points this season as well for his career, depending on how long of a postseason run the Warhawks have. He's already the school's leading rebounder at 700 plus. His brother's team won today, EKU, with a road win down at Austin P. Mike didn't have his best shooting day, neither did Cooper Robb, but the Colonels come out on top by 15 in that one.
They bounced back. I watched that Lipscomb game, and they couldn't hit the broadside. They had a tough night that night.
You know, the style they play is contingent on hitting threes and playing handsy defense, and sometimes those two things can betray you on the road. But Devontae Blanton with a double-double of 20 and 11 today to lead the Colonels, who have only 2 losses and are near the top of the A-Sun. Here we go. Malachi Marino jumping it up. Gets it to Gage Richardson. We're underway. Richardson, a long pass to Dawson. Drop off to Godfrey. Lays it up and in 5 seconds into this one. 2-0.
Really nice pass there by Trey.
Moore going from left to right on your screen. Coming at us here. There's a little different setup at Scott County, as Keith noted in the pregame off the air. There's a 3. It's long for Moore, but a rebound on the far side. Blocked by Godfrey. Going to the floor again to get it is Wheatley. They will get another 3-point attempt from the left wing, and rattling it home is Harrison. 3-2. Mustangs out in front. Just a couple of hustle plays there to get their second and third opportunities.
Yeah, you don't like giving up an offensive rebound on the very first offensive possession of the game.
Great Crossing has never lost in this building at Scott County. They're pretty proud of that. They'll try to keep it intact tonight. Gage Richardson on the drive all the way from the right corner to the hoop to lay it in for 3.
Nice to see Gage attack the basket.
Coach Page likes to see that out of him, too. We're a minute into this one. Not a lot of defense yet, 4-3. Harrison with it, guarded by Burrell. He will drop it back off. Nothing there. They'll get it to Wheatley. Wheatley will bounce it inside, and long on the jumper is Bartlett. Richardson with the board. Here comes Gage. He finds Trey Dawson, up to Burrell. Inside to Malachi. Malachi posts up. Wheatley doing a good job, or as good a job as he can. Marino gets a second opportunity, misses it long, and Wheatley grabs the board.
Got a little bit low on the block there, and when he spun, he was behind the backboard, didn't have a good angle.
Don't often see Malachi miss 2 in a row. He's had some perfect nights from the floor this year and others that were close to it. Bartlett drops it to Hall. Hall with the hesitation, the drive. Hey, he's going to get out for a walk, yeah. As he got the ball tied up momentarily and took a big hop step. 5:59 to play, opening quarter. Great Crossing up 4-3. Burrell will walk it up the floor. Guarded by Harrison. Harrison knocked it out of his hand and went off of Janias. So turnover for the Warhawks, who lead it early. Looking for their 18th win of the season. Team set a goal in the preseason to get 25. They're on pace for it. They play Lexington Catholic a week from tonight over at Franklin County. That'll be a showdown you don't want to miss. Godfrey reaching in, saving it as Wheatley, but instead, GC has numbers. Burrell inside to Dawson for the Eagles.
Really good D by Godfrey right there. Used those long arms, get his hand on the ball, and then didn't give up on it. Got the steal.
Davon Harrison has a three, has the only three for Moore so far. Gets it to Wheatley. Here's Hall with the drive, the kick. The three from the corner is rattles out, and Dawson with a long rebound. He's going to have a run all alone at the rim. 8-3 as Dawson puts that one home. 3 minutes in, 5-point lead for the Hawks. Hall, nice play to Wheatley inside. Richardson tried to get into position on this, to scramble into position and committed the foul. Hunter Wheatley will head to the line.
Wheatley that time, he had no intention of making that. He was going for, I wanted to get to the free throw
Just
line.
trying to draw the
That was
contact,
it.
and he succeeded. Once he saw the 11 flashing in from the other side, Wheatley makes the first free throw. 8-4 early on. First of two tonight. Scott County will take on Mail in the nightcap here at the Dan Cummins Classic. 7:45, the scheduled tip. Wheatley could not roll in the second. Marino with the rebound. Burrell ahead to Richardson. Godfrey touches it to Burrell. Burrell inside. Dawson flashes to the foul line. He finds Marino. Marino from the baseline. Little 8-footer rolls in. Marino adding that to his repertoire. 10-4, 4:30 to play.
Got real physical with him, so he just made a step back, 10-foot jump shot, soft touch.
The Power 6 coaches love to see that. Now Marino and Burrell trapping Harrison. Harrison gets out of it, drives to the hoop, uncontested. 10-6 early, timeout on the court.
Cal, I have to mention it the first time out, there is so much shoe game going on tonight here at this gym. Malachi has got some new turquoise kicks. I'm not sure exactly what kind they are. I'm going to have to find that out. Trey has got his patented light pinks. And then from the other team, Davon Harrison has one shoe that is blue and one shoe that is gold. And there's just shoe game dripping all over the place on this floor.
It is an ever-changing game. It seems like they've got as many different colored pairs of shoes as the team has uniforms. You know, you got the white, the Kelly, the navy.
Gage has got some bright pink ones with some purple on there today, too. I didn't notice those. Those are sharp as well.
Some Miami Vice colors out there. Or Easter
Nice
egg
play.
colors. Marino with the flush on the foul. Dawson with the dime, and Marino will go to the line to try to make it a three-point play.
They started Malachi on the opposite block and screened across for him, and a great entry pass by Trey led him right to the basket baseline side, and Malachi just dunking on people's heads to start this game tonight.
Carmelo Jackson checks into the game. He brings a little thickness, number 25, as he'll probably try to put a body on Malachi, who missed that free throw, 12-6. Dangerous pass in the backcourt. Somehow they get out of the trap momentarily. Do the Mustangs. They'll get a three from Jackson, and he's a smooth shooter, too, as Carmelo comes right into the game.
No hesitation.
Looks like Vinny Johnson, the microwave out there, 12-9. He's the third leading scorer on the roster without UV in the lineup. And there's Richardson for a three, in and out. Rebound comes down to Wheatley. Chance to maybe tie it up for more if they can get another three. Two of their field goals have been of that variety so far.
Well, we were right. Deshaun Hall is a difference maker. He's quick and can get by people and create things for his teammates.
Pass intercepted by Marino. They tried to squeeze it inside to Jerry Bartlett to no avail. Richardson, foul line jumper is off. Tipped around, going after it is Jackson, but he'll throw it to Dawson and save it to the Warhawks. Here's Burrell in the right corner. Had to stop as Wheatley was in his tracks, and now Dawson with it. Dawson spins around the defender and dumps it into Marino, and the contact from Jackson will send Malley back to the line.
Well, on that play and on the fast break just a second ago, Trey so patient He went off the ball screen to the left. It wasn't there. He turned back around and went to the right. He waited for
his team up 12-9. 4 points. Dawson with 4.
the free Warhawks.
They are a streaky team, both plus and for 3 in this one.
Shooting 61% as a team for the year. That's a
their girls
discouraging
team.
stat.
Girls team started today 0 for 7 and then picked up the pace and beat Henry Clay. There's a steal from Burrell for an easy drop in. All 5 starters on the board, 14-9.
Malachi jumped it, and then Janias waited for the bad pass, took advantage.
Anticipated it well, picked it off around the bird logo and walked in. To Hall, drop off, Wheatley, but blocked by Marino.
He covered some ground to come across the lane for that one.
Burrell finds an open Gage Richardson, swish.
Good to see.
17 as Gage gets his first 3 of this one. Gage the other night at Western Hills had 11 points in the first quarter. He was getting to the rim in that one. Unfortunately for Great Crossing, they double digits as Western Hills had a 26-point quarter, but they came back to win that one 83-69. Inside over Marino are kind of up and under for his first 2, 17-11. Dawson step back 3, yes.
He's having a game tonight.
Dawson with 7 already, 20-11, minute 24 to play, opening period. Jackson, guarded by Richardson, kind of got pushed in the back. Weaves it. He'll go to the line as the foul.
He was up at the top of the square when he jumped right. His hands, I don't know why he didn't go up with 2 hands. He went up with the palming it, and it just kind of slipped out, but 2 free throws.
You could see him reaching the top of the backboard with his leaping ability. He leaves the free throw on the front rim. So 0 for 4 are the Warhawks. Inauspicious beginning. 1 more to try to make this a double-digit margin.
Interesting sub right here.
Christian checked in.
For Malachi, they go with the small lineup.
Small as you can be with the 6'7" Godfrey, the 6'4" Richardson, the 6'5" Dawson. There, Godfrey makes the free throw. 21-11, 1:11 on the clock. Walking it up is Davon Harrison. Anticipation
nice
for Godfrey. It's on the floor. Recovering it momentarily are the Mustangs. Nice look there inside and getting the layup from a tough angle is Harrison, but the pass from Forey. Dawson with it. Martin finds an open Burrell for 3. Yes. That is 3 different 3-point makers. Dawson, Richardson, and now Burrell, 24-13.
Really nice ball movement there and just unselfish play. That they had a good shot and then they gave it up for a great shot.
Moore had a little trouble getting around Dawson, and now they reset for what probably will be the final shot of the opening quarter, down to 12 seconds. Burrell all up in the grill of Harrison, who got rid of it. 5 seconds now. Drive to the foul line, kick to Harrison for a 3 at the buzzer, in and out. Rebound comes down to Godfrey, and your score after 1. Great Crossing 24, Moore 13.
Really an efficient quarter by the Warhawks. I don't know what they shot from the field.
I was just thinking about percentage. They made 10 field goals. I bet they didn't miss more than 5.
Yeah, that was a clinic.
Marino had a couple of misses on 1 possession, but after that, I don't believe they were off the mark too often.
And Louisville Moore is a scrappy bunch. They've come up with some loose balls, and they have shared the ball well. But the Warhawks are going to be tough for anybody to beat them if they continue to play like they have at the first quarter of this game.
First of 2 tonight, Scott County trying to get off the schneid. They've got Louisville Male. A couple of teams that you know are going to be better than their record. Scott County 8-13, Male 11-10. Cards lost to Bryan Station last night, coming off a couple of district defeats, actually, as Sayre got them on Tuesday. Need to get some momentum going down the stretch, and this would be a good way to start as Dustin runs the stats to us. We thank you, my man, and we'll see that percentage is 10 for 14. So we were just about there, 71.4%.
Not a bad shooting quarter.
Free throws 1 for 5. They've got to step that up a little bit. But turnovers, they've forced 5. 4 of those were steals. And they led to runouts for the most part. Underway in the second period, Davon Harrison with it, guarded by Janias Burrell. His more Mustangs down 11. Harrison gets it back. Moore will take its time. You don't really want to run with Great Crossing, they've found out. There's a pass deflected by Marino, deflected by Dawson. Mustangs recover. They've drained 30 seconds of this second period with this opening possession. But it has been eventful. Now Harrison trapped Burrell and Marino, and they get the intercept from Richardson. Here comes Marino. Tried to stuff it with one hand and got pushed from behind.
The veteran official, Clayton Brooks, waited to see if that dunk was going to go in before he decided to call the foul right there. They gave him the shove from behind, just enough to send the dunk off pace.
He was coming in from a tough angle and with the one hand, but Mal will get a chance to earn it at the line. Clock stops at 7:17. Leans into that one and sinks it, so Malachi breaks the negative streak from the line. He'll have another here. Hawks up by a dozen, early second quarter. Marino makes both. He has 6. Dawson with 7, Burrell and Richardson with 5 right now. Good balance for Crossing as they have doubled up the Moore Mustangs early on. Going after Marino, but missing there on the layup. Rebound, Burrell. Hambrick had the layup attempt, and that led to an easy one at the other end for Trey Dawson, who now has 9. Too many weapons.
Well, and this is having me flash back to when Coach Hicks was here, because Great Crossing is trapping every ball screen, and that's not something I remembered them doing all the time, but they must have seen something in the scouting report.
Marino rebounded an air ball, hit the outlet pass to Dawson for another easy deuce. Yeah, this performance here is reminiscent of some Scott County teams from 17, 18, and 19 that I watched in this gym, and they're only going to get better, as we said.
But here's
dominated by sophomores.
They're just trapping every ball screen, and Moore's turning it over about half the time that they get stuck in one.
Yeah, they come and go with that trap, but tonight it is an integral part of things right now. They usually pull it out when they know they've got an advantage, as you said. The floater no good, rebound Richardson. So Moore has hit a cold snap at the same time as Great Crossing can't seem to miss. There's the oop from Burrell to Marino.
Really nice leave by Janias. Got to the middle of the lane.
The drive, the drop off.
Got the help defense and just left it there. Malachi did the rest.
And he'll get a steal here with Moreno. Lost it, though, is coming in from the backside, number 12, Makai Jones. That'll lead to a floater for Moore that's no good. Marino tears down the rebound. Long pass, Richardson to Dawson. Dawson back to Richardson. Richardson, the drive. The floater is good. Gage is attacking the rim, as you noted. He's got 7. Great Crossing just lighting it up here, 34-13.
Yeah, the Moore coach that time when he called the timeout was just shaking his head. And what are you going to do? I mean, these guys playing on their A game, they're tough to handle. And I think that they're getting ready to hit on all cylinders, which is nice. I said at the last game that we had together that if Gage Richardson would step up and do the things that I think he can do to contribute, they would be really tough to beat, and he's doing that tonight. You expect some things out of Moreno and Dawson, but Gage is a highly, highly talented guy, and it's good to see him. He's attacked the rim twice and scored buckets off that, and then he made that deep three. Super efficient, and it's good to see him thriving.
You got to pick your poison if you're defending this Great Crossing team, and it's tremendously hard to stop them if you're giving it back to them on the run. As it's usually a dunk At the very least, an uncontested layup. And this is a night we're going to see some other faces in there, as we're already seeing Javante Dean and Juju Hill checking into the game, as they have already played a JV game today over at Frankfurt. There's a drive from Jackson that's no good. Rebounded by Godfrey. Now Juju with it. Good varsity experience. Steve Page will love a couple of these primary JV sophomores to step up and give them a little depth down the stretch. Godfrey tried to force it into Moreno. It's on the floor, stolen by Moore, and a run out for Harrison. Hill got back but couldn't stop it. Harrison has 9 of the 15 for Moore, who trails by 19. 4:33 to play, first half. Juju Hill maybe got away with the double dribble. Now knocked out of bounds by Moore. It will stay with the Warhawks.
Yeah, I think this is smart by Coach Page. It's tough to go all the way
Back-to-back
to
nights.
the state tournament with only 6 guys really that you're counting on.
You're playing back-to-back nights. You're going to Frankfurt. Actually, you're hosting Frankfurt on Monday for a district contest, as Martin finds Marino for the leaner from the left baseline. Marino's in double digits with 10 already, 36-15. Yeah, as we know, early in the season, they lost a couple of guys they expected to be part of that depth. So they've really played with 6. And you see a lot of the schools in that upper echelon do the same. But as you get closer to March and as the fouls get called a little closer, you need some bodies sometimes, even just to get a couple of minutes. Martin, he plays well and plays hard whenever he gets in there. Misses the shot there, but Moreno's there to clean up. Malachi with 12.
He's active tonight. It's great to see. He had to go and retrieve that rebound. It didn't bounce to him. He covered some ground to go get it.
Harrison guarded very closely by Hill. Jump stop and drains it. Harrison with 11. But his team is way down. Moreno, he'll take a 3. Why not? Front rim. That's why not. Rebound, Harrison. I guess it's a crime to be 6'7" when you're guarding 5'9". And Harrison will go to the line for 2. Clock stops at
good to see native Brad Levy, coach of the Pineville High School.
Coach of Pineville, they had a tough assignment with Paris today and went down in defeat via run clock, but their record is strong down in their part of the state, 13th region. Harrison rolls in 1 of 2 to make it 38-18. Hill with a runner off the glass, no good. Rebound Jackson. Way up ahead. Another 3 that's off. Godfrey went after the rebound, knocked it out of bounds. It will stay with Moore. 38-19. 38-19. Warhawks up. 3:05 to play, second quarter. Next to last game, penultimate game of the Dan Cummins Classic. We'll have Scott County Mail at 7:45. Inbounds OB underplay to Harrison. Harrison's had himself a nice night here to start. 14 of his team's 21.
Coach Page not pleased with that.
He'll get a 30.
Off the inbounds play way too easy. Not much resistance there from the young fellas. And Trey Dawson will check back in, as that will be deemed unacceptable defense. Good teaching moments right here. Early in the game, you can get on them hard and bring them back in later and see if they learn from the lesson. I mentioned Clayton Brooks earlier. We got 2 state tournament officials working this game with Cold Iron and Brooks. Brooks, the pride of Paris. Both of those guys have worked state tournaments in the past. Highly touted crew. Of course, I'll jinx us by saying that. We've had a really nicely called game up to this point.
3 scorers already in double digits in this one. The pace has been pretty quick, brisk. Not a ton of fouls called. 38-21. And Godfrey trying to get inside, off the dish from Martin, and we'll have a whistle.
He was trying to do my favorite move there where he takes one dribble to the middle and then spins back baseline. But a knee and a forearm in his back prevented him from doing that. Definite easy foul call.
That's the 6th team foul on the Mustangs. Next one will send GC to the line.
There's the oop
Martin
play.
looking to oop it to Godfrey. Instead, he'll dump it off to Dawson on the wing. Trey will take a 3. Contested. It doesn't matter. Dawson with 14. He shares game high with Harrison at this point. 2:35 to go, second quarter. The drive, a little off-balance layup, and a foul on the Hawks will send Moore to the line, Hunter Wheatley.
Yeah, it looks like Moore made an adjustment in that trap. They're going to send the opposite guy on a flash to the basket.
Second foul on Jeremiah Godfrey, only the third on the Warhawks. First one is good from Wheatley. EJ Leslie will check in for Moore, so they've gone pretty deep to the bench here as well. Wheatley makes both, 41-23. Burrell walks it up, closely guarded by Hall. He's back in there. Christian Martin gets it to Marino. Turnaround right baseline. Bunks it off the rim. No good. Rebound Wheatley. And on the floor is Dawson deflected it to Burrell. Gets it back on the run. Trey to the rim for the and one opportunity. Trey Dawson, I don't believe he's missed from the field.
He's just having his way tonight.
7 for 7. And it's a 20-point lead for the good guys. Dawson will try to make it 21.
He's just playing on a different level. That time he waited for the defender to get there.
Can't get the free throw to fall. Rebounded by Jerry Bartlett of the Mustangs.
Went right through his chest to get the and one opportunity.
On the wing is Leslie. You'll find Hall. Hall guarded by Dawson. Now Marino will pick up the trap. They'll work it inside. Good ball movement on this possession by the Mustangs, but Marino with the swat. Martin with the rebound. Outlet to Dawson. The oop to Godfrey.
I mean, what a highlight reel that was.
5 players on the court. 4 of them touched it there. Marino to Martin to Dawson to My. And Burrell knocks it off the foot of Leslie, and that's another turnover for Moore. Richardson checks back into the game at the minute 15 mark. Almost on pace for 100 here. I don't think they'll get there tonight because we may have a running clock before that.
What they have at the end of the first quarter, 24 or 23?
Yeah, right,
Right
24-13. So keeping that pace very similar in this second period. Christian Martin, Marino, Dawson, Marino. That's just too easy as he gets it to roll in off the rim. He's got 10 this quarter and 14 on the night. 24-point advantage for Greg Crossing in the final minute of this second quarter. The trap again, Richardson Burrell. Somehow he dribbled out of it, and that's how the somehow is he double dribbled out of it. And Harrison will turn it back over to the Warhawks, 41.4 seconds. Burrell taking his time across the bird. Finds Martin. Martin to Dawson at the foul line. The kick to Burrell for 3. So whoosh. The threes are falling nicely tonight for everybody, and there's the first half 50 burger. Harrison, a little fall away, no good. Marino will rebound it. Possibly the final shot, but Richardson pushing the tempo to Dawson for another 3.
Oh, my goodness. Goodness gracious.
Stop the fight. And that will do it for the half. Half-court shot, front rim for Hall. It is all Warhawks, folks, 53-23.
Yeah, they made it look easy, but they did it by just making the right play. There's a easy temptation when you're up by this much that I'm going to go get mine, and this is an opportunity for me to show what I can do and shine. But Great Crossing Warhawks have hit the open man, taken the open shots. They've played together for one another, and boy, that can really do incredible things for team morale when you're willing to make the extra pass, even when you're up by 25, 26 points. It just shows your teammates that you care about the game being played the right way. And if they work to get open, you're going to get them the ball. And that's what happened the whole first half. I know that Steve has to be pleased with the top six guys for sure. And I know he's probably still going to plug those other fellas in there and give them a chance to also make the right play. But, just a clinic. They just put on a clinic that first half. I'll be interesting to see what the shooting percentages were because it stayed that way in the set. The first quarter they were 10 for 14. I'd say they shot just about that well in the second quarter. So efficiency is the name of the game for the Warhawks tonight, and everyone is contributing.
All gas and no brakes, as 5 guys have combined for the 53. You want to know the field goal percentage? 75.9.
Yeah, it's always good when 3/4 of your shots go in. That's a unprecedented success.
That is Villanova at Rupp Arena in the 1985 national title game success right there.
And Vince having an unbelievable
19
game.
points on 8 for 8.
And a couple of those shots at the end of the half were just heat checks. Like that one that right before the halftime, he was being pretty well guarded and just rose up and drilled a 3 right in the guy's face. But
they are 6 for 8 from 3.
He's done it from everywhere. He's attacked the basket. He shot one from the free throw line. He's hit a couple of 3-pointers. Vince Dawson just playing on another level tonight.
Jason Taylor, the statistician, texts me that this is only the 4th highest point total in a first half in the 4-year school history for Great Crossing. They've had a couple of prolific nights against the likes of maybe Frankfurt Christian. But to do this to a team from Louisville is another thing entirely.
And without pressing. I mean, it's not like they're trying to up-tempo anybody. They're just playing their game and totally being efficient.
What do you expect? I know you'll probably hang around. Derek's going to join me on the air, I guess. But for tonight's second game, Keith, what's at some point we're all thinking Scott County is going to find their stride, and we almost thought they had when they beat Henry Clay, and then all of a sudden hit the wall again with a couple of district losses this week.
Yeah, I was really hoping that Henry Clay game was going to, I told you that I'd talked to Chris Wilhite, and he was so excited to have everybody back at pretty much full go, and that they were feeling like that it might be the momentum swing that they needed to carry them here in the second half of the season. But then they went to Frederick Douglass and they took one there, and they knew that was possible. But I think that losing to Sayre is a tough one. Tonight against Mail, Mail was pretty highly touted coming into the season this year. They've got 2 brothers their daddy is Danny Edlin, who played at Campbellsville when I was coaching at Georgetown. And we called him the Ultimate Warrior. He's always a really fit guy, and he wore these wristbands around his biceps up real high to show off the definition. And so I'm hoping to run into Danny tonight. I'm sure he'll be here. And I know he's proud of his boys, and they're really good players. And I think that, Mail's been a little bit underwhelming compared to what they were supposed to be, but a very talented team. And I think that Scott County's going to have to bring their A game if they're going to pull that one off tonight.
Runner-up in the LIT, which anytime you do that, it may be a down year across the board a little bit in Louisville, but you still have the likes of Ballard and Trinity, St. X, etc. So Mail certainly has a chance to make a run, and it will be a test for Scott County. I thought when I saw these two games on the schedule, the way things are going for our two home teams, that maybe they could swap opponents or something, and that might be for the benefit of everyone. But Scott County will give Mail its best shot. A tough one at Bryan Station last night. Bryan Station, they're another team that's been a little underwhelming, I think, but they're very young and a lot of young talent. A freshman by the name of Amari Owens and sophomore Felix De Los Santos took them to school last night. They got down, had just a rough second quarter and never fully recovered. Micah Glenn with 20 points and Nick Mosby 15. But again, it's been leaning heavily on those two guys. They've had Lamarion McGrath in and out of the lineup. Daquise Brown has been back and Jay-Z Middleton back, but Jay-Z in particular is still trying to recover his shooting stroke, I think, on a consistent basis. So we hope here over the last month of the regular season. The great thing about this last month is the pace slows down a little bit. You're playing about twice a week. You've got practice, which we as fans maybe not get excited about, and players don't necessarily, but coaches like that opportunity to kind of work on some things.
And especially when you've had guys out that long, there's no rhythm. There's no, feel good about the way things are going to play out. There's no, systematically to get to have those guys in practice again rather than just playing game after game can really be beneficial. And I know that Tim and Chris, they both treasure practice. And I know that, you said that maybe we could switch teams, and that would be good because it would be ranking wise. It would be great. But I know Tim Glenn well enough to know he'd just soon have the challenge. Just bring them on. It's not like we've got to get an at-large bid. We're in the tournament. So bring them on and let's see what we're made out of. And you get a win over a team like Mail, and next thing you know, you're believing in yourself. And if you can beat Mail, you can beat anybody in your district. So
it's reminiscent to me of back in the 1920 season when they played Jeffersonville, Indiana. I think it was the Dan Cummins Classic then, only it was in December. I think they flip-flopped the dates. And that was a game where they were probably outmanned and based on the results of the early season, weren't expecting much, and they came out and won it. And that's the kind of win that can build you a foundation as you go forward in the season. And of course, we know that team won a region title. So not saying that's going to be the end here, but if they could build some confidence and maybe surprise Mail tonight, it could be the springboard for something special down the stretch.
And there are quite a few opportunities like that coming up. There's no way you can't write Scott County off. That's just something you cannot do. You underestimate them, and next thing you know, you're going to be going home. So
they've been right there. I mean, they lost to Douglas by single digits, and the Sayre game was there for the taking. They had a pretty furious comeback, and I think they just ran out of gas at the end. 17-2 run, won that one for the Spartans, and then I think all season long it's been a tale of one bad quarter, and quite often that quarter comes in the first or second period and gets them in comeback mode, and then it's too tough a hill for them to climb, especially the way their depth has been for much of the season. Scoreboard watch today. It's been a full day of basketball here in the county. Great Crossing girls pick up a 11th region win, an impressive 165-48 over Henry Clay, avenging a loss in last year's region quarterfinal. Reagan Barrett with another big game for the Lady Warhawks. Yeah, she had 16 with 8 rebounds. Rachel Smith, 11. Adri Brown, the 8th grader, with 10. Ava Skierman, 8 points, 9 boards, 4 steals. Chapel Brown with 7 big points off the bench as well. Great Crossing will host Frankfort in a district game, part of that doubleheader on Monday night. We'll have that here on the network. Georgetown College swept Mid-South Conference newcomer Wilberforce. Both men and women won hugely. The men got down big time early, 19-7, and then roared back to hurdle 100 points for the first time this year at Wilberforce's expense. They are now 18-3, are the Tigers, ranked 15th in the country. Scott County girls lost to Pineville here earlier in the Dan Cummins Classic. They'll try to rebound at Woodford County as the schedule kind of goes into a little bit of a winnable stretch for them once again here over the next week or so. So hope the Lady Cards can get some momentum as we head toward playoff time. Second half of this one, Great Crossing up 30. I think the challenge, if you're the Warhawks has maybe put this one to a running clock and get some of those young guys in there. Try to build some confidence.
It's good for them to play meaningful minutes like they did in the first half too. It's a different ball game when you're actually out there when it means something.
Yeah, if you can do it in the third
Steve will
quarter
want him to
instead
get
of the
him in.
fourth,
yes, that helps.
it would be good. Gage Richardson will inbound to Janias Burrell to begin the second half of this one. GC looking to stay undefeated in the gym at SC for its lifetime. Marino, foul line, picks it up, gives it to Burrell. Burrell thought about a three, dropped it inside to Godfrey instead for another more easy pickings at the rim.
Strong take. Godfrey keeps getting better, and it makes me smile. He just gets better and better all the time.
Crossing now 23 for 30 from the floor tonight.
Sticking with the ball screen trap, Malachi's really doing a nice job of jumping out there to stop the progress of the guard.
Runner rolled off the rim, no good by Forney, rebounded by Godfrey. Richardson, the oop to Malachi, came in a little lower or under the rim than he wanted to, and the foul will send him to the line. Not sure he was going to put that in, but the foul didn't help.
Yeah, had me nervous on that one. A big
don't
Carmelo Jackson.
Don't want him landing hard or anything.
He went to box out on the alley-oop, and that's a recipe for disaster. So I'm glad nobody got hurt.
Don't want him getting hurt in a 30-point game here. He missed the first free throw. Marino will get another. Missed that one as well. Rebound comes down to Harrison. So free throws were the only bugaboo in the first half. They were 3 for 8. Now they're 3 for 10. Moore picks up the dribble, but saves it, keeps the possession alive for Harrison. He is doubled by Burrell and Godfrey down on the baseline. Find an open lane momentarily, but Richardson comes in for the block against Hambrick. It will stay with the Mustangs. Three-point attempt from Harrison, no good. And a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if with the play down here and then the shove underneath the goal right there, I'm wondering if Moore's getting a little frustrated, and those are the types of plays that you make when you just kind of are over it, not having any success.
Ready to hit I-64 West. Richardson into Godfrey. The hook.
Oh, my goodness.
Everything's falling tonight.
That was a left-handed hook.
And I do mean everything. Harrison walks it up. Moore not in any hurry. Understandably.
There's that trap again.
That's going to be intercepted by Gage. Richardson up ahead. Janias with the drop to Godfrey. He missed it entirely. Thought he was going to dunk,
and
decided against it. Burrell for three in the running clock. Yes, sir.
And that's a perfect example right there of Malachi gets a rebound offensively, and it would have been easy for him to go right back up with it, but he didn't have the angle, and he kicks it out for the easy three. Just making the right play again.
Davon Harrison with the floater. 35-point gap. Step back for Godfrey. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. Hook, layup, dunk, 17-footer. The evolution of Jeremiah Godfrey continues before our very eyes. Burrell trying to tie it up. Now he'll take it away. The oop to Marino. Second opportunity makes it go. 16 for Malley, 39-point lead. Timeout. A 30 to probably get some subs in, I'm thinking.
It'd be interesting to hear what this huddle's like. Because that wasn't necessarily the right play on that alley-oop right there. It was going to set Malachi up for
disaster,
another dangerous thing, and he just didn't have the angle to do it. It was more of a show-off thing, which, that's a tendency to have happen. But I'm interested to see if Coach Page is telling them to, continue to make solid plays. We're not trying to embarrass anybody.
Yeah, that's an unusual spot to call a timeout unless you're going to say something to that effect, which I'm sure was the message delivered. 5 minutes to play, third quarter, running time for the duration. There is an uncontested layup as bouncing it inside to Jerry Bartlett.
Nice screen roll. They did do the trap again, but nobody picked up the roll man, and nice delivery on the pass there from Moore.
Jacob Forney on the dime there. Now Dawson with it. Finds Marino. Looking for Godfrey. Instead, it's Burrell from that same spot. He has been money 4 times. Janias Burrell, 4 for 4 from 3. Vince Dawson the third, 3 for 3 from 3. You get the picture. They're up 40. This is the most impressive offensive performance of the season, to say the least.
I mean, it was 75.9%.
It's gone up.
Might have gone up in this quarter, yes.
Burrell, the long pass from Dawson to cash in. The only shots they missed have been those ill-advised ones. Yeah. Most of them have been bailout fouls to keep them from being field goal attempts. So,
and they got those offensive rebounds and stuck them back in.
Right. So as far as points per possession and efficiency and all that good stuff, there's a steal for Marino. Burrell, no look to Richardson, missed the layup. There we go, jinxing field goal percentage, and they miss a layup. Christian Martin and Juju Hill will check in as the clock continues to run. 69-27 your score. Dawson and Burrell will check out, and I wonder if it's for the final time this evening. Still quite a ways to go.
It's probably good that they played last night because you would have a tough time. You want your guys to continue to roll and feel good momentum-wise, but you also want them to get out of the game and get some other guys some minutes. So
this 3 by Forney, offensive rebound, wild shot, defensive rebound for Marino, who will take it the distance. He get called for the walk as he lost his footing, had 2 guys on his tail.
That's about the 4th time he's brought it up the floor tonight, though. I think he's enjoying that. If I get the rebound, I'm going to take off and play point guard for a second.
Point guard at heart.
Who doesn't?
Coming out. He says, I've got handles. Watch me. There's a 3 that's good from the big man, Jackson. It's a second. 69-30. Juju Hill to Richardson. Gage, the drive, the drop off. Marino, the kick to Martin for 3. Christian in and out. Rebound bounces around. On the floor with it is Moore and Montel Hambrick, who got rid of it. Moore on the run. Harrison will kick it to Hambrick. He'll find Jackson for another 3 from that same spot. No good. Marino tips the rebound to himself. Minute 45 to play, third period.
There he comes again. Magic Johnson.
Christian Martin, right wing 3. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Hambrick. Up to Harrison. Harrison around Hill. Harrison to the rim. Blocked by Richardson. His second projection.
He's pinned 2 to the backboard.
Also has a couple of steals on the night. Ryan Payne, his first action of the varsity tilt. And Jeremiah Godfrey checks out to a nice hand. Stolen by Moreno. Throws it to Hill. Hill drops it to Payne. I thought it was Payne. They said Martin over the PA.
Yeah, I think they were mistaken.
They do look a little bit alike out there. Even got the T-shirt on. Yeah, now they changed it to Payne. Harrison for 3. In and out. Rebound, Hambrick. Nice little pass there, but Marino blocks the second effort. Rebounded by Payne. 30 seconds, 41-point lead for the Hawks. The easy drive for Gage Richardson. Kisses it off the glass, 9 points. 73-30. Jackson with the drive against Marino. He will draw some contact.
And the crazy thing is, this Louisville Moore team's not a bad team.
No.
Great Crossing has just really been good tonight.
I mean, on paper, it's a better team than they played last night. They're having a much easier time. Jackson rattles in the first free throw. Carmelo Jackson.
He's had a nice game.
7 points.
Hit a couple of threes.
Came in off the bench. He's their second leading active scorer among guys who've played more than just a couple of games. Ball went out of bounds, and with the running clock, that will do it for the third quarter. Your score, Great Crossing 73, Moore 32.
They didn't take Malachi out at the end of that quarter like you did the other starters, so I was wondering if he was on a double-double watch or something along those lines. It'd be interesting to see the stats when they come up.
He had 14 and 6 at the half to go with 3 blocks.
I would guess he probably got 4 rebounds that quarter, but we'll see.
They've got 11 guys listed on the roster, so technically you don't need to have a starter in there, although they only have, I guess they've got 10 in uniform. So you could conceivably have a 5 without a starter.
I think they got 11 dressed from what I'm counting right there.
Okay, well then you could even have more than 5.
So Cal, I got a question there. At the last timeout, we had Malachi and Jeremiah and Trey all standing around Coach Page.
Mm-hmm.
And I am wondering who gains the most inches by their hairdo. They all three
I'm wondering
gain
if Coach
multiple
Page
inches.
has ever felt smaller in his life, for one thing. I'm thinking, right now it's Malachi. I think Malachi with the hair
He
is
wins.
probably about 7'1". I know Michael always got a couple of inches from his hair.
Yes. It's an intimidation factor, I think.
It is. Flying around.
As if 6'11" is not on
as
its
if
own.
a guy just owning you is not intimidating enough as it is. Yeah, it is a double-double watch. 16 and 10. I don't think we'll see Malachi from here on out. Malachi got taken out of a game up at Franklin County, 1 block shy of a triple-double earlier this year. So Coach Page throwing him a bone there as Jamari Mason gets on the board. 75-32. The clock mercifully continues to run. Scott County and Mail coming up at 7:45 here on the network.
So the efficiency continues, as that was not an easy layup by Mason on this end.
Nice little floater there by Deshaun Hall. They've held him to 4. Christian Martin looking for help, finds it from Mason. Mason spins, kicks to Hill. Hill back to Mason, step back. Now Martin for 3 from the right corner.
It's great ball movement. Great ball movement.
You got to love that when you get a different 5 in there and see the same kind of teamwork. Javante Dean will check in at the next horn. There's a 3 from Leslie. To get more within 41 with 6:11 to play. Juju. Mason drive, dish to Payne, misses, but gets his own rebound, blocked. It'll be a tie-up, and we'll go to the Mustangs.
I think Payne thought that there was going to be a shot blocker coming flying through the air right there and kind of double clutched it. And he didn't necessarily have to. Could have just laid it in.
Some quality minutes down the stretch here for the second wave of Warhawks. This second wave is all sophomores as well, so this team, other than Godfrey, will be intact for 2 years beyond this. And there is a turnover as Mason tried to get it to Payne and threw it to someone who was 8 feet tall. 78-37. The drive and kick to Harrison. Harrison will get to the rim, and finally it drops in and hovered there for a second or two.
Now this is an interesting strategy here by Moore. They've put the press on now that we've got the substitutes in. And a lot of coaches will put the starters back in if you decide to do that. So it'd be interesting to see how Coach
Nothing
Page
really
reacts.
To be
Not
gained
really
by that, but usually as a coach, when you take the liberty of doing them a solid, you expect to be reciprocated. Instead, Harrison on the run again, the spin, trying to put on a highlight film here, and they'll get the offensive rebound and a foul as Bartlett got the carom. And we'll go to the rim, or go to the line rather. Clock ticks down underneath 4:20, 78-41. Short on the free throw is Jerry Bartlett. He has 2 points on the day. Harrison with 18, the leader by far for Moore. Missed the second as well, rebound to Payne. Payne tried to throw it to Blake Bailey, instead got it deflected and intercepted. In traffic for the layup is Wheatley. His first field goal of the night, cut it back to 35. Running clock will not stop. It will continue no matter what. The drive, the no look from Mason to Payne for the pretty finish and the harm.
Really nice pass there. He got to the middle of the lane, set up his teammate, and good finish that time by Payne. No double clutching, just went up and got the and one.
Payne with 4 points. He'll try for a fifth. That gets his team to 80 at the 3:13 mark. Clock continues to run even during free throws, which we won't object to. Missed the free throw. Rebound Wheatley. Leslie, ball fake, and draws the contact from Payne. Under 3 minutes, Great Crossing will go to 18-3 on the season. A win Monday night or a Western Hills loss will clinch the top seed in the 41st district for the Warhawks. It's kind of a foregone conclusion at this point. They are, of course, the defending champions in that district. They reached the region semifinals last year. It is a loaded region, as we've seen many teams continue to gain momentum. Douglas on a long winning streak right now. Lexington Catholic ranked in that top 5. Madison Central just hanging tough with everybody, no matter who they put out there. Moore still in possession here as we tick down to 2 minutes. There's the lob into Wheatley, who misses the layup but gets his own rebound to clean up. 80-45, Wheatley with 7 points. Javante Dean keeps from losing the ball. Now he's under duress again. The nice dish to Payne, who can't finish, tries for his own rebound. Instead, Wheatley takes it away, picks it up off the floor. On the run is Moore. Wild reverse layup attempt missed, but another offensive rebound. Now a steal by Hill. Juju to the rim. The floater and the air ball. He tried to launch it over Wheatley, who was too tall and too broad. And now we'll see some new faces. Not entirely, but a few for Moore.
It's gotten a little sloppy. I'm not sure that they're going to hold the 75% field goal percentage here with the last few possessions.
There's a three that's off the mark, but another offensive rebound from Moore against the second string. Hall has 6 points, 6 of his 8 this quarter. Moore's making this one look a lot closer than it was as Javante Dean gets on the board. Hill and Bailey, I believe, the only Warhawks who have not scored yet. They're going to run out of time. Here's Hill with the steal. Maybe he'll get on the board. No, he'll dish it to Dean. Javante can't finish, but he gets his own miss. 84-47, final 30 seconds. There is a deflection by Mason, recovered by Moore. Mason still hustling. One thing about this group of Warhawks is they play hard when they get out there.
Yeah, and it's great to see, like, right now, Malachi Moreno is standing up, cheering every possession, cheering on his teammates. The whole bench was up a second ago when they they stole the ball and came down and had an open chance for a layup. Looks like a lot of camaraderie on this team that Steve Page has put together, ready to head down the stretch.
Peyton Wheatley is in the game. I assume that is a brother who makes both 84-49 in the final seconds of this one. Should tick away rather uneventfully, although Hill will try a three to light the cigar. 87-49, your final. We'll get some final stats and we'll sign off quickly for the transition between games. And we'll be back on the other side with Scott County and Mayo at 7:45. We'll try to hit the air around, I'm going to guess 7:40. Right now it's 7 o'clock, as that was a quick one.
Yeah, when you get the running clock that early on, it doesn't take long. So, but what an impressive outing by the Warhawks tonight. I mean, they put on a show. We said it before, totally efficient, made the right play, looked for one another, cheered each other on every time. Even that last three-pointer, the whole bench was standing up wanting that young man to score, and just a great night. You got to go home feeling good if you're Steve Page about the status of your program right now and the players within, where their mentality is and where their execution is. I mean, they executed nearly flawlessly tonight. The traps on defense and the shooting the gap, outstanding. And on the offensive end, ball movement was outstanding and got the ball to the right man at the right time, which paid off big time in efficiency stats, points per possession, and those types of things.
The Connors Sports Talk players of the game being presented. Davon Harrison with 19 points for the Moore Mustangs. And it will be Jeremiah Godfrey with 11 points, 5 for 6 from the field.
Gotta love Connor Wilhite standing out there in the middle, passing out the plaques. That's good stuff. If you haven't listened to his podcasts yet, it is worth your time.
He's had some pretty good guests over the years.
Yes,
Yakari Figs,
Jim McKee, Billy Hicks. He's had a lot of good guests so far. Worth your time to check out that podcast, Connor Sports Talk. Connor is Conner.
We'll go over the stats before we leave the air here. Is Vince Dawson III with 19 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Malachi Moreno, the double-double of 16 and 10, 4 blocks and 4 steals. Janias Burrell, 16 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. And Jeremiah Godfrey, your Connor Sports Talk player of the game, with 11 points. Gage Richardson had 9, so almost 5 in double figures. We mentioned the 19 for Harrison. It only cooled down to 68.5%, 37 out of 54. They were 10 for 15 from 3, and that came from 5 different players. Burrell and Dawson a combined 7 for 7. Any final thoughts on this one, Keith? It's going to be you on Monday night, is it? Or is it Derek over there in the Frankfurt Great Crossing doubleheader that we're doing?
Cal, I just try to make it day by day. I haven't looked at Monday yet, so it may
I have
well
to
be
look
me.
at the schedule, but I know I'll be there for that one. And if you are, we'll see you then. It's always great working with you.
You too, my friend.
For Keith Greiser, I'm Cal Oakes, James Scoggin, Mike Scoggin, DT Wells, all making this possible as well. We thank you for joining us. We're going to go off the air for a little bit, come back, hit you around 7:30 for Scott County and Mayo for a 7:45 tip. Until then, take care of yourselves.